Zoom. They've changed that in the past week.
Oh, okay. So yeah, weird. All right, so we're about to go live.
Very good.
Well
there you are,
done.
live on Facebook.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline. That's great.
Hey, buddy, we're so excited to catch some stalls with you.
Yes. All right, we've got some folks joining, so timing is good. Aha, I see some classrooms. This is great. Nice to see people joining. Yeah.
And for our friends tuning in on Facebook, we're also simultaneously on Zoom. So don't be shy about communicating with us in the Facebook comments. We'll be monitoring those as well.
And Agla, I wonder if you can paste the Facebook Live link in the chat box, unless you have already.
On it.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I think we're going to start in 10 seconds. We're streaming live on the Stall Catchers Facebook page. And here we go. Welcome, everyone. This is the final hour of the 2021 Stall Catchers International Catchathon. And it's been a whirlwind 24 hours for us at the HCI team. And I think for many of you who have been diligently plugging away to catch as many stalls as you can during this event. And we're absolutely grateful to everyone for joining and participating in this. This is how we can all, as you know, work together to make a difference in impacting research on Alzheimer's disease. And if you haven't already seen the live stream from from yesterday, from the kickoff, it's on YouTube, and it's on the Human Computation Institute channel, and we'll post some links in the wrap-up blog as well, which will be posted probably in the next day or two. So my name is Pietro Michelucci. I lead the Stall Catchers project at the Human Computation Institute, and I'm joined by Caroline Nickerson and Agla Ramanauskaita, who are both involved in the Stall Catchers project. Agla is our communications director and has done all the outreach for Stall Catchers since the very beginning. And Caroline is affiliated with SciStarter, and many of you found Stall Catchers from SciStarter. SciStarter is, I call it the Google of citizen science. So if you're looking for a new citizen science project to try, you go to scistarter.org. And you can just search for something that interests you. We have a ton of folks joining, which is really exciting, and I'd like nothing more than to just dive right in. But before I do, since Caroline is joining from SciStarter here as kind of a special guest today, I wonder, Caroline, if you could just briefly introduce yourself and maybe say a few words about the SciStarter Stall Catchers connection.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, everybody, I'm Caroline, and I'm so excited to be finishing out Citizen Science Month with this event. We're in our penultimate day of the month. That being said, you can find me doing citizen science and especially stall catchers every day of the year. So it's definitely not just in April. That being said, April has been our excuse to celebrate. It's kind of like the Super Bowl of citizen science for us. And let's think of this event as the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. So at SciStarter, you can find citizen science projects across all sorts of different disciplines, everything from astronomy to biodiversity to, of course, health to zoology and everything in between, with projects that you can participate with by sending observations via a smartphone or using a data sheet or conducting analysis. I mean, there are so many different ways to participate in citizen science. And I am thrilled that you all are doing stall catchers. I think this project has such a unique approach to citizen science, and that we can do real scientific research. We can be a meaningful part of the process just by playing this gamified project, going through the steps of the project. I love that we can have the friendly competition. I love egging libraries on. I would say in terms of the Stallcatcher SciStarter connection, one of my favorite aspects of it is the fact that so many libraries across the United States and around the world have formed their own Stallcatchers team and competed against each other. I believe the Los Angeles Public Library is currently in the lead. Last time I looked at the points, but I mean, there are so many new libraries, especially during this month, that have hopped on board. That being said, I hope that you all keep on discovering citizen science through SciStarter. You keep playing Stallcatchers. And one funny anecdote before I start catching myself, I was on Stallcatchers the other day and my Aunt Joan was playing at the same time. And I had no idea that she even had discovered citizen science. I just thought that was really cool. So you never know who in your life is going to be a citizen scientist and who you might see in the Stallcatchers chat box.
Oh, so that's how you saw it. One of you was chatting in the chat box and you recognized each other?
I was like, Aunt Joan?
Where worlds collide.
In the Stallcatchers chat box. That's where you never know who you'll find.
Yeah, no, exactly. And literally worlds do collide on Stallcatchers. And I think we're seeing evidence of that right here in the Zoom chat. If you set up your view on Zoom to gallery, then you can see this matrix of boxes. And I see people joining from I think lots of different countries. So I would love to just start visiting some of our folks who are working diligently during this last hour. And thanks, Caroline, for that great intro to SciStarter and the SciStarter Stallcatchers connection. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. I see a couple classrooms here. One of them has the name Reginald on it. So I wonder if you and your classroom can unmute for a minute and join us, Reginald, and introduce yourselves so we know who you are and how it's going. Okay, so possibly Reginald has left the room for a minute. So we'll come back to Reginald's classroom. Hopefully you all can hear us there. We'll switch over to, okay, we have Olympia Schneider. Oh, everyone, they're waving to us like, wait, we're all in the same. Okay, if you can unmute and join us.
Hi. We're here. We're just muted. My students are being loud cheering every time they find one.
All right. That's what I like to hear. So are you all at the same school?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Two different classrooms at the same school.
Yes.
Cool.
And we have some of my remote students, so students who would Zoom in for my class are participating via Zoom for our class period. So that's been awesome.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So we've got virtual and live in person. And what is your school?
We're at Gulliver Academy in Miami, Florida.
Gulliver. All right. Wow. Okay, cool. And what's the name of your team?
We're Team Raider. We're Raider Team. Sorry. Raider Team.
Okay.
So we've been working on this yesterday and today. We've had our classes busy and active.
Also, we're working as a collaboration with Palmer Trinity Schools here in Miami.
Yes, so we're working with another school.
Another independent school of the area.
Right.
And wow. Okay. And are you all on the same Miami team?
Yes, we're a league.
No,
we're a league.
Oh, you're a league. Okay, I got it.
League, and hopefully this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship between us and other schools. So next year we'll hoping to bring more schools.
Yeah, fantastic. Yep, that's really fun. We're starting to actually see more use of the league feature on there. Anybody can create a team on Stallcatchers, and when you do, you can even set up a league. So you can create a league, manage a league as you figured out on your own, I think. So is PTS Falcons, is that the other one from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I see that you're both on the top 10 leaderboard, so congratulations to that.
Yes.
And you've managed a lot of catching between the Raiders team and the PTS Falcons, you've annotated 4,500 research vessels.
Wow.
So that's about let's see. Yeah, I can't do that math, but that's a fair amount of work in the lab. But we'll post the statistics later. But you've actually made a big dent in analyzing the data set, and we really appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
We're super excited about the new Miami League and the Gulliver School, and then what is it? What is Robert's school? That's the other one, right?
Palmer Trinity.
PTS Falcons, the Falcons.
The Falcons. Okay, excellent.
PTS Falcons, yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again. We're gonna move on. We've got a lot of squares to cover here. Just keep plugging away, though. We've still got 50 minutes left in the hour. I'm gonna jump over to let's see. We have Anna Paula. And so nobody's obligated, of course, to speak. Not everyone is comfortable speaking on Zoom or in a live stream. So, you know, if another way we can do this is if you're ready or able to speak, to raise your hand. If you know how to do that in Zoom, you can. That way, I won't just keep calling on everybody who might not want to speak. There's the reactions button, I think, at the bottom of your Zoom screen. And then if you raise your hand, I'll see that, and then I can call on you.
Any of my students want to chime in? I have quite a few here. Come on, you guys. We were just talking about this.
Absolutely. Yep. Anyone who's feeling brave. or even if you're not feeling brave. Okay, so let's see. We it looks like we have trying to see if I recognize any of these names from past events. Somebody.
Question, if I may. One of my students has a really excellent question. Andrea, do you want me to ask it for you?
Yeah.
She wants to know, how do you actually give the mice Alzheimer's? Because we watched 2 intro videos. So she's curious to know how that process works.
Yep, that's a great question. So I don't know the technical details. What I do know, because I focus on the human computation research, which is how we create stall catchers and combine your answers into expert-like answers. But the biomedical collaborators we work with at Cornell take a portion of the mice and they introduce the human version of Alzheimer's disease. They're called transgenic mice. I think they don't do it themselves in the lab, but I think they you can basically, I don't think you can order it on Amazon, but there's a place you can go to and you could say, you know, we would like a set of mice that have been given the genetic the human genetic version of Alzheimer's disease, and then and I don't know how they do that, whether they inject the mice with something at an early stage of development or whether it happens in a petri dish. I really don't know, but now you've got me curious. So I'm going to find out, and I will bring that answer back to you. I'll send it right to your school, and maybe we'll post it on the forum as well, because I think that's a great question. Thank you for that. Does anyone else have any questions?
I could try to answer that question. If I
may. Okay, yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Agla.
Yeah, so yeah, there are places where they genetically modify mice, and that basically means that they insert a certain new gene, so like the human Alzheimer's gene, into embryonic cells, and then the embryos develop from that. And the mice that grow from those embryos have the genetic modification that they want, and they can do it with a lot of different genes.
Wow! So you start with the embryo of a mouse, and and then it just has to be changed in a few cells of that embryo, and then somehow that spreads in the mouse, or does it start with just the original, what do you call it, a zygote, and then you do it in that first cell?
Yeah, it's that you're supposed to modify the zygote, and yeah, so the very first cells that the mice will grow out of are modified, and then
Okay, got it. So the cell, the fertilized cell from the mouse is modified, and then it's put back into the mouse for gestation. Is that something like that?
yep, I'm a little bit fuzzy on the putting it back for gestation, but that's how it works in
Yeah,
principle. But yeah, I guess that's how they do it.
not sure how that could work, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's amazing what's possible. Okay, well that's a lot more than I ever knew about it. So thanks again for that question. That's a great one.
I think this is Rigo's class. I think we had a question from Daniel. Daniel, you had a question? He's remote.
That'd be great. Yes.
So I've been working on the stall catchers for a while, and I have quite a high score right now, if I would like to share.
Yes, please.
So I have 3,000, and my rank is 7,000. I'm not sure if that's high.
That's fantastic. So you have 3,000. So I'm looking now. I might have to bring up the main leaderboard. So just tell us, how long have you been playing stall catchers, or
I've been playing for like 20 minutes ago.
for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And cruising along, like one right after the other, and you're up to 3,000?
Yeah.
I think 3,000 is excellent for 20 minutes of work. So let's see where you are as we get close to the end of the hour.
All right.
Hey, thank you very much. Really appreciate your catching.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we have a few others joining now. I see a little raised hand at the bottom here. Oh, okay. Let's see. Looks like, Daniel, your hand might still be raised. I'm not sure.
My bad.
No problem. Yeah, so one thing I wanted to mention, we're doing something completely new in this Catchathon. So we've done Catchathons annually since we began stall catchers, except for last year. COVID kind of threw us a curveball, as it did for many, and made it a bit more challenging with other things we had going on. But this year we're doing something really exciting, which is, for the first time ever, we're introducing a citizen science bot, and I believe the world's first citizen science bot. So we have an artificial intelligence agent that is playing stall catchers just like any other player. It has its own user account called Bot Gaia, and you might see it on the leaderboards. And of course, it's hardly fair to have a bot that doesn't require any sleep and can be catching stalls all night while the rest of us are hopefully sleeping. But it's very exciting for us, and I think we can all sort of take some pride in the performance of this bot, because everything it knows, it learned from stall catchers players. So over the last 4.5 years, we've annotated over 5 million. We've made over 5 million annotations in stall catchers, annotating 1.4 million vessels. And we took all the human answers to that, and we gave it to a machine learning competition where there were 1,000 different machine learning researchers, people who study artificial intelligence, who had teams where they were competing to see if they could build an artificial intelligence agent, or basically a machine learning model that could predict whether a vessel was flowing or stalled, just like we do in stall catchers. And then one of the winners of that competition, named Laura Onak, who lives in Romania, agreed to work with us to wrap her AI model into what we call an agent which mean agent just means that it's not just sitting in a computer. It's kind of it is sitting in a computer, but it's set up in a way that it can actually log in to stall catchers, play stall catchers, log out of stall catchers, have an account, have points, that kind of thing. So Laura kindly joined our team and has been working with us over the last month to make this possible. And so we're really excited to have a bot playing among us. And I'm very curious about what any of you might think about having a bot in the mix. Does it make you nervous? Does it add to the sense of competition? Or do you regard it totally differently? What do you think about the bot?
I think it's cool.
I think that was Ian. Yeah, thanks, Ian. I think it's cool too. I agree with you. And Caroline, if you're still here, I wonder, have you heard of any other instances of a citizen science bot joining and playing a citizen science game?
No, I think this is the first one. So kudos to you all. I think that's amazing.
Well, it's been a long time coming. It's really yeah, it's the work of all the catchers and all the machine learning researchers, and it was just nice to have all these pieces that we could fit together to make it happen. And so one of the things we're curious to find out is what happens. So normally in stall catchers, we don't rely on any one person for a final answer about a given vessel. So any vessel that you see and you judge as flowing or stalled is also seen by several other people. And then we take all your answers and we sensibly combine them into one expert-like answer. And we validated this approach to be as good or better than the answers they used to provide in the lab. Except now we can do it so much faster because you're all working together at the same time. So the big question now is, what happens if when we are combining these answers, one of the answers comes from the bot? So it's your answer, your friend's answer, and the bot's answer, all combined together into one single cyborg answer, right? So it's the human and the machine. And part of what makes the system work is if everybody always answered the same way, then this would never work. But it's because of the fact that sometimes when you get one wrong, your neighbor gets it right and vice versa, that this system works. And we think that the bot may be sufficiently different from all the other people, at least as different from other people as people are from each other, that we can make this work. So the big question, the big research question from this Catchathon, when we analyze the data, is to see if the answers that the bot was involved in are as good as the answers where it was only humans involved in them. And the way we're going to do this is the data set we're analyzing just for this competition is a data set that was previously analyzed by stall catchers. So we took a small portion of that data set. Well, it's not that small, actually. It took 2 nights to upload, but it was originally 150,000 vessels. We're taking 20,000 of those vessels for this competition. It was originally 10,000, but everybody's been working so hard and we have so many people. We had to scramble and upload 10,000 more last night. So we have 20,000 vessels that are going to be, some of which are going to have bot assistance. And you all are working with the bot, and then we're going to compare that to the answers from the first time we analyzed them without any bots. And then we're going to post all these results on the blog. So if any of you are interested in artificial intelligence, then I encourage you to stay tuned to the blog to find out the exciting conclusion of this, especially because your hard work is enabling it. Your answers are actually making this happen. So are there any questions about the bot, about Gaia? So,
hello, my name is Maria. Can you hear me?
hi, Maria. Yes.
Hi. Yes, I think that it's very very interesting, the artificial intelligence, because if that is going to work according to our answers, it's to me undoubtedly that the answers are going to be correct, right?
Well, if it were a perfect learner, then we might expect that. But you know what it's like when you have when you have many different teachers telling you different things, then you have to decide who you're supposed to believe. And this bot has had 35,000 teachers. And so somehow it has to integrate all of that, you know, by 35,000 teachers, I mean everyone who's ever played stall catchers. So in principle, I definitely see what you mean. On the other hand, when you start to kind of, you know, how do they say it? The devil's in the details, right?
Yes.
Where are you from, Maria? Where are you?
I'm I'm from Peru.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic. So
So you discovered my accent.
well, I do recall we've had players from Peru before. Have you played stall catchers in the past?
No, this is the first time I played, and I really enjoy it. Yes, it was very, very good to learn more about that. And since you just know barely about Alzheimer's disease, and that you don't know how that happens inside, you know, the brain. And it was very, very good to do it. You know, I couldn't do it longer because I had to part-time jobs and I had to study, but I tried and I really like it.
Thank you so much for trying it, and really thanks for joining the Hangout. It's really great to hear from people from all over, and for me, that's one of the most enjoyable aspects of these international catchathons is folks coming in from all over the world, and so thanks for taking the time to do that. I see we have a raised hand up here. Oh, and Lorena, before I call on you here. Maria, I just want to mention that that this is what we hope for with stall catchers, is that it's the kind of game where you can pop in and out just as you happen to have time to do it. So, you know, even if it's just 5 minutes, you know, once a month, that's still contributing. And the whole idea is if everybody did that,
I will do it. Yes, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, well, thanks again.
Thank you very much.
And I just saw that that Mike Caprero, our esteemed longtime catcher, has joined the chat. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you.
Hello, Pietro.
Glad to have you here. You could probably answer some questions that the rest of us can't. So I'll introduce you in a moment, but Lorena's had her hand up. So Lorena, hello, how are you? And where are you, where are you hailing from?
I wanted to ask Maria what's her team in the stall catchers, because she's originally from Peru, but I think she is in another part of the world. And so we are from SUNY Schenectady in New York.
Ah, okay, from SUNY Schenectady. Okay, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't say that. Yes. I mean, I am from Peru, but I live in New York.
Oh, I see. Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. You can choose your own affiliation, however you want to represent yourself in stall catchers. In fact, you know, one of the aspects of the game is, you know, we have teams, and you can create a team, you can join a team, and a lot of people switch teams regularly. So in a competition, Mike, I know sometimes, so Mike is our longtime catcher. If you look at the leaderboards, Mike's always right up near the top, if not at the top. And so when we have a competition, I think Mike will sometimes, you know, choose a team that he wants to help out and join. A lot of our super catchers do that. Yeah, so.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. So how are you, Mike?
I'm doing well.
Okay, I would be
woke
very.
Up and that pesky bot was ahead of me by almost 2 million points, but.
This is exactly what I was going to ask you about. So what do you think of the bot?
I'm pretty impressed. She was tooling along at about skill level 96 to 108, but then around 11:30 she got all the way up to 100%. She was getting 116. out of
Is that right?
116.
Wow. Okay. So, so this is not a learning bot in the sense that now that the bot has learned, it's playing, but it's not learning while it plays. So that's going to be something we explore in the future, is a bot that can continue to improve as it plays stall catchers. So it's possible that just like the rest of us, Gaia had a string of good luck for a while.
Yep.
I don't know what Gaia's current skill level is at the moment. That's the blue bar. When you're playing, you can see kind of what your sensitivity level is. And the higher that bar is, the more points you get for each annotation.
Yeah,
So
she
one,
dropped back some, but
yeah,
okay.
yeah, definitely. It looks like Gaia is still in third place for the individual, and you're in second, and then Star Rider, of course, yeah, the one that we can't figure out how he does it so fast, but he's way up there. And actually, I know he was burning the midnight oil because I was too. So maybe that's his secret. He doesn't sleep. The other thing that I noticed last night when I was looking at these leaderboards is that, and if you haven't seen the live leaderboard, I'll post the link, or Agla, maybe you could post the link in the chat here so people can watch it during this last hour. It's its own separate web page, and it updates live, and it shows you catcher score, team score, and the amount of research we've accomplished, and that kind of thing. It's kind of a nice thing to have going in the background. So what I noticed last night, Mike, is that even though Gaia got ahead of you in the points competition, Gaia, you were still quite far ahead of Gaia in the number of research vessels annotated. And the way that can happen is that if your skill level is very high, then you're getting, let's see, am I saying this right? Yeah, it has something to do with your skill level. And so if you're seeing that many research vessels, it means the ratio of research vessels to calibration vessels that you see is higher because your skill level is so high. Right. So I think Gaia, we measure skill a little differently than the numeric scale you were using, but I think you're often right, pretty close to 4, which is about the highest you can be, Mike. And I think Gaia was hovering around 3.2. So Gaia is fast, but not quite as skillful as Mike. Yeah. So what do you think, Mike?
She doesn't sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. I saw Gaia plugging away all night as well. Yeah. Yeah. So you've been through a few of these catchathons. What have you noticed anything different about this one?
Well, considering the number of people playing, it's the smoothest one we've had. Okay, so congratulations to the team. It's far more robust than some of the other events have been.
Well, thanks for noticing. I think a few of us maybe lost a few years of our lives working on the performance tuning, but it feels like it was really worth it here when we see how smoothly this is going now. And especially I know I mentioned it during yesterday's hangout, but I want to thank Libby and Ravish from our team again for really putting in the extra work to make that possible for us.
Yeah, it's much appreciated.
Yeah, you bet. And I have to thank you too, Mike, because all along the way, you've given us lots of hints and clues in different ways about what might or might not be influencing performance. And I think some of the things you've keyed in on ended up leading us directly to the mechanism we had to fix in order to make everything faster. So yeah, actually, I'm not sure it would be this fast at all without your help as well. So yeah, thanks for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So let's see if anyone else is trying to join in. We're about halfway through, about 30 minutes left in the final hour. Checking the leaderboards. We've got, yep, Raider team and Falcons are still on the top 10 leaderboard. We have some other pretty impressive. I'm just going to list the teams that are on the top 10 leaderboard now. These positions are pretty high. I'm trying to see if there are any close races. looks like everyone's got a pretty well-established position. The first place team is Tracker, which quite coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, has exactly the same number of points as Star Rider. It's the Star Rider one-man team, I think. We have IC Stalls. Now, Mike, is that your team? Are you on?
It's Carol's team. I joined her team for this event.
Okay, that's right. I had a feeling about this. So Carol, who's not on this particular hangout, is also a longtime catcher, and of course the folks who are on stall catchers over the years start to get to know each other, pretty well from the chat. And yeah, it's nice of you two to kind of join forces on this. So congratulations to both of you for that second place position. We have another, I can't say it's a one man or one person team, but we have Team Bots, which is in third place. And that's just, as far as I know, no one else has dared to join Gaia's team. I asked Laura, who created the bot, if she would be okay with humans joining the team, and she said, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anybody can join any team. But I think, yeah, I don't know, bots make some people nervous, or they just feel like, well, I'm not a bot, I shouldn't join. Maybe some people identify as a bot, so we'll find out. And the fourth place team is Chrissy, and it looks like that's Christiana's team. And then we have Alls Together Now with I think that's primarily but not exclusively Sean 4046. And Raider team, who we've spoken with, Canada. Canada's making, the entire country of Canada is playing stall catchers. That would be cool. And then Zion Science 8L, PTS Falcons. So I'm going to guess Zion Science 8L. I'm pretty sure that's another school team, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a team from North Carolina. So I don't know if any of you are on the chat with us. If you are, please raise your hand. We'd like to say hello to you. I did send the link there, I think. And then finally, we have and of course, this isn't all the way down the leaderboard. It's just the top 10. We have Singularity 2045. And I'm guessing that includes some of our other super catchers as well. So it's a really, really good showing, and Agla does a full analysis afterwards, and she will figure out, which countries were participating in this catchathon. We always like to see year to year which countries are involved, so we could say how many continents did we have playing all at the same time. I know we had some Australians who said they were going to play. They were probably playing during the night. Maybe some of them are on today as well. Let's see. Anyone else have any comments or questions to raise? What do the teachers think? I'd like to hear from a teacher.
Hello again. I have one more question from a student about the bot. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, go for it.
Will the bot be used in future robots to work on patients?
Will the bot be used on future
Patients.
Like future research for patients?
Right. No, that's a really good question. So I think the short answer is eventually yes. And the bigger question is how soon? And it really depends on what happens in this catchathon. So we're going to take all the data from this catchathon to see if the bot is good enough to help the research. And if it is, then we do intend to start using the bot. Now we're going to do this in consultation with all our stall catchers players and community to make sure everyone's comfortable with it. Whether we keep the bot visible on the leaderboard or whether it becomes something that's working in the background, we need to figure out where everyone's comfort level is with that. But the benefit of having a bot is that again, it can play 24/7. If it's doing a good job, we could potentially start introducing other bots. So what we might do is introduce what we call an API. So we created a way for bots to connect to stall catchers so they could play, to enable Laura's bot, to play the game just like a human would. So a bot doesn't actually sit in front of a keyboard and type or use the touchpad or a device. It has a direct connection to stall catchers. Now that we created that direct connection, we're going to invite other machine learning researchers to come and try playing stall catchers with their bots. And if we have a proof of concept from Gaia that this is not hurting the research and it's helping the research, then we can have a much stronger basis and confidence that bringing new bots in will also help. But we're going to do this very carefully. We're not going to just open the door and then suddenly there are going to be 100 bots playing, because we, not all bots are created equal. So to test this before we even had Laura's bot, I created what I call a random bot. So imagine, your pet cat or dog is playing stall catchers and just randomly hitting flowing or stalled with its paw because it doesn't really know. So I created a bot like that. And Laura gave it a name as well. It was Chaos. So Chaos is the under-recognized, underappreciated bot, KAOS. It took a lot less work for me to create Chaos than for Laura to create Gaia. But when we tested it, the big question was, if you have a bot that's randomly answering, could that hurt the research? So we created stall catchers to prevent that possibility. So because a human could do that too. A human could come on and just say, flowing stalled. And if you try that, you'll see that blue bar never goes up and your score doesn't go up either. But we've never fully tested that with a bot. So for this event, we really have two ends of the continuum. We have Chaos, which is, the world's, least qualified bot. And then we have Gaia, which is a very highly performing bot running on a big server with lots of GPUs. And then there's the spectrum of all the bots that could exist in between those two. And maybe someday bots that could do even better. So I think it's an excellent question, and it's something we fully intend to investigate, because right now with humans, we're accelerating stall catchers between 5 times and 10 times as fast as the data used to be analyzed in the lab. And if we add bots into the mix, we could be analyzing, twice or 3 times as fast even as that. And then we have a new problem, which is, do we have enough data for everyone to analyze? And we've already started to run into that. But we have ideas about that too. Agla, you raise your hand.
Yeah, so since we can't have an event without glitches, we're not having double points right now. So somebody suggested in the chat box that we have a bonus hour later with double points. So I just wanted to see what you think about that.
A bonus hour with double points.
Yeah, since people have been robbed of double points now.
Okay, so had we promised double points for the final hour? Is that what happened?
Yep.
What we can do? It might not be too late. I could probably get double points on for the last half hour. What do you think? Should we do that, or should we do a bonus hour? How do we do a vote? Caroline, you know how to set up votes here, polling. Okay, I'm going to add a question. Oh no, I can't do that now. It's too late to do that.
You can do that in your zoom.us interface, but it might be kind of hard, and we're in a meeting. So maybe we should have to vote in the chat what they want.
Okay, so informal poll. Who wants me to turn on double points now? And who wants to have a bonus hour later? So if you want double points, say, or if you want it now, say now. And if you want it later, say later, and just write it in the chat. I'm seeing a few nows. All right. So then I'm going to hand over MC to you, Caroline, since I know you're a pro. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to take a couple minutes to see if I can turn on double points.
Yeah, the people want double points and they want it now. Oh my gosh. I'm actually going to take a look at the Facebook and see if anyone's chimed in the Facebook comments, because I don't want to leave those folks out. I noticed I shared it on the SciStarter pages, and a few people seemed like they were watching online and cheering us on. Let's see that. Because I don't. So it looks like we have 6 people actually tuning in with us on Facebook now. So for those people watching on Facebook, don't be afraid to say hi. We really want to celebrate you and all the work you're doing during the Catchathon today. And I know we have a few schools playing, so I'm really glad we're turning on double points. So I'm interested. So as I've been playing more and more stall catchers, you know, I got out of the training videos, and now I'm seeing those videos where only 30 other people have ever seen it. Do other people get anxious when they see the videos that thousands of people haven't analyzed already? Because I know I feel like I have almost the weight of the project on me, but I'm interested to see how everyone else feels. Mike, I know you're a super catcher. I've seen your name on the leaderboard for years now. What advice do you have for folks who might be nervous about analyzing kind of the new videos?
Analyzing, I'm sorry, missed the last part.
Newer videos that, because I know I used to feel more comfortable when I was in the training videos, because I would be like, oh, you know, 10,000 other people have looked at this video. But then sometimes I'll be analyzing a video and I'll see maybe only 30 other people have looked at it so far. So that's the number one question I get at SciStarter. People get really nervous when they encounter that. So what advice do you have to those folks who might be nervous or unsure about getting started?
Well, one thing to keep in mind is the algorithms are very good. They take into account your current skill level, and you really can't hurt the science even if your skill level is low, because it weights where you're at, and it takes all that into consideration as it evaluates the how the crowd as a whole has evaluated a particular movie. And as your skill advances, which it will if you stick with it, if you stick with it long enough. I was terrible when I started. I mean, when I first started, the first couple of days, I was thinking, these people are crazy. What do they want me to do here? You know, but you get the hang of it after a while and you get better. And as your skill goes up, your weighting also goes up. And the algorithms take all of that into account. So you don't have to worry about hurting anything by making a mistake. The software is very good about that. So yeah. You just keep with it and you'll get better, and you are contributing to the science regardless.
That's awesome. I'm curious if have you ever seen a video where you thought it was stalled or flowing and the crowd disagreed with you? Have you encountered videos like that?
Yes, on occasion. And on occasion, a couple of us super catchers have taken exception with the team too. We actually won a couple of those when they finally decided this is early on when they were evaluating. And they actually did change a couple of them from flowing to stalled in the calibrations, or vice versa, as a result of the input they got from the crowd.
That's awesome. So for people playing, after you analyze a video, you see all the comments there. And if you are very much convinced that this vessel is indeed stalled, but the crowd thinks it's flowing, you can make your voice heard in those comments. And it looks like Maria has to head out. Oh, thank you for being here, Maria. It was awesome catching some stalls with you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Have a good day. Have fun at work. But yeah, I love the comments on stall catchers. whenever I create a new account with friends and family, it's pretty funny to see people's comments on the training videos. Because so many folks have analyzed them at this point, and the training videos are the stalls are very blatant. They're the most stalled stalls that have ever stalled. So that's always fun too. I'm curious if anyone has found, and feel free to unmute and just shout it out for any of the classes tuning in. If anyone's found anything interesting so far, or any surprises as they've been planning today.
I believe we did not.
Looks like people are very intently playing, which is great. I'm gonna refresh the Facebook and see if any folks have any comments for us so far.
So sorry, I don't have a result yet. If I can make this work, I'm going to quadruple points since we're down to the wire. But I'm still, yeah, I did what I thought would work. It's kind of like a hack at the last minute, and it didn't work. So I'm going to try one more thing. If not, we'll figure something out. We'll make it right. But I'll just take another minute.
Take your time.
Well, if we're going to quadruple points, I'll have to keep a close eye on Gaia, make sure she doesn't sneak up on me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's still one or two calibrations that the jury's still out. The crowd still hasn't agreed with the experts on.
Interesting.
I'm on the fence on maybe two of them.
Yeah, tell us more about that. That sounds really interesting.
Well, as you mentioned, if you read the comments that people leave, they can be interesting. But there's a couple that are, they're really hard.
Yeah.
If I answer them honestly, even though I know what the right answer is because I've seen it so many times,
yeah,
I have to disagree with the experts. I said, I know it's supposed to be flowing, but I really think this one's stalled. Okay, well, there's just a couple like that.
Lorena said in the chat, I was just thinking about that. I think she was thinking about Gaia, sneaking up on you all. Your competition there.
Yeah, I better go take a quick look here.
We have quadruple points.
Oh boy.
For the last 10 minutes.
Goodbye. We have lunchtime.
Thanks for joining.
I got 100 million.
All right, guys. Thank you.
There are some things in life that are just, like having lunch that are pretty important. You don't want to miss. All right. So is everyone seeing the quadruple points who's playing? Do we have confirmation that it's working?
Yes, people seem to be happy on the chat.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah, losing their minds on the chat. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing a lot of exclamation points.
Yep, that's either a really good sign or a really bad sign in my experience. See, looks like a good sign this time.
Faster than she is, or she'd be catching up to me again.
So if we go back to the, let's see if I can, maybe I can share the live leaderboard here for the final bit. Okay. So yeah, this is a great opportunity. If anyone has any questions for Mike about the actual mechanics of telling whether something is flowing or stalled, I think Mike is probably the most qualified here to answer that question. Just feel free to speak up. You don't need to raise your hand. We got about 7 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm going to share the live leaderboard. Can everyone see this?
You can see it.
Yep.
Okay. Nope, now it disappeared. Let's try again. I think I went to full screen and it didn't like that. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Wow. You know, it's going to be close, Mike. On the catcher's score, it looks like, yeah, if Gaia has any points to redeem at the last minute, it could be quite close.
Well, redeem points don't count, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Not for the event.
not for the event. Yeah, and you, just for anyone who's curious about, do you remember why we did that? Maybe you were the one who suggested it, Mike.
Last year? Yeah. Well, we discussed it last year, and yeah, some people got in the habit of saving up their redeemed points and trying to cash them in during the event. And
There's nothing like starting the event with 10 million points, right?
Right. Especially during double points, that was a big distortion. So
oh,
we eliminated that option, right? Or you did.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure in response to your suggestion. Agla, did you have something?
Yeah, I have a question about Gaia. Does she redeem points?
Yeah, that's a great question. And Laura raised the same question yesterday. So Gaia can redeem points, but not actually Gaia cannot, but Laura can on Gaia's behalf. So Laura can log in as Gaia and click the redeem button. But as Mike mentioned, that would not impact the score here. Also, Mike, for full disclosure here, as you may have seen early on in the competition, Gaia was not appearing on the challenge leaderboard. So we tested a lot of things, but that was one thing we hadn't tested. So we had to actually go and fix the code, and then we had to manually update the challenge leaderboard with Gaia's points accumulated up until then in the challenge.
Right.
The points that got added to Gaia included some redeem points because I had forgotten that we weren't supposed to include those when I did that manual update. So after the competition, it wasn't a lot of points. It was maybe 300,000 points or something at the time. Could have been more. After the competition, before we do the final official tally, I'm going to go and remove any redeem points that are built into Gaia's score so that we have a true and fair total. So I'm saying that now for the record, and we'll make sure that that gets corrected before we do the final tally.
All right.
So thanks for bringing that up, Agla. You have another one?
Yeah. Would you like to know some final stats?
Yes.
Or almost final stats?
Please, share.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have lunch now, so we're gonna say thank you to everybody. We just got called. It's our turn for lunch. Thank you again.
All right. Good job, Raiders. Good job, Miami.
Thank you.
Thanks for a fantastic showing.
Miss Schneider.
Yeah, you guys, so my students, just take a screenshot of your leaderboard, take a screenshot of your point values and email that to me. We'll do a little in-class competition, okay, guys? And have a great weekend. I'll see my kids on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
Miss Schneider.
Bye,
Thank you, Ms. Schneider. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so you have some final statistics for us, Agla?
Yeah, so I don't know yet about the number of continents and the number of countries, but we've had 43 teams and a total of 297 catchers, almost 300. And about 5 minutes ago, we had 43,772 real movies annotated, which I'm not sure that my math is correct. So we'll have to check that later. But according to my math, it's almost 57 lab days.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
And so, and in the beginning of the hour, we had 51 lab days. So
almost a week's worth of research in 1 hour.
yeah, less than 1 hour.
In less than an hour. you know, these numbers, I will have to compare them, but it sounds like we're setting some new records for Catchathon here. I don't know. I don't remember ever annotate. Have we ever annotated that many in a 24-hour event? Maybe at the Megathon. We'll have to look. But that was a longer event. That was a weekend. So yeah. Well, every time I look now at the number of catchers we have, it's just growing. People are joining faster than ever before. And so for a while, we had this kind of linear growth in the number of people registering on stall catchers. And now I think it's starting to take this kind of upswing. And COVID might have had something to do with that, you know, as people are looking for more online activities. I think part of it too is just, you know, with more people playing, more people are hearing about it. Obviously, SciStarter's been doing a lot to promote citizen science and get more students involved. I think a lot of folks found us through SciStarter. So, so SciStarter, I think, you know, this, I'm going to call you SciStarter now, Caroline. I think, yeah, this is certainly a win for SciStarter as well, as much as for anyone.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so we got 1 minute to go, and I'm going to have to manually shut off the quadruple points, or they'll go on for the rest of the day, because I had to kind of do a hack to make it work. So I'm gonna have to be quick to do that in a minute. But I'm going to stop screen sharing now, and I think we're going to call this one here. I think the leaderboards are about where they're going to be, and more importantly than the leaderboards, obviously, we got a lot of data analyzed, and you know, depending on how this works out, Gaia could become a fixture in stall catchers, and could significantly boost our ability to analyze data, to do it faster, to do it accurately. So this could be a big win for the researching and getting the Alzheimer's data analyzed more quickly. So I see we lost our students in our classrooms from the Hangout, but I know some folks are watching this live, and I just want to thank everyone. Really heartfelt thanks for joining and participating in this Catchathon. It's a huge event for us, for catchers, and I think most importantly for the Alzheimer's community at large, in bringing greater awareness to this opportunity for anyone to help advance Alzheimer's research by playing stall catchers. So thanks again, and with that, I will conclude the 2021 International Catchathon, and we'll see you on the blogs and on the chat. Thanks for joining.